Okay, we are back. Part 2 of Ellipse Select Tool and Rectangle Select Tool. I think I'm the only guy that can talk about this stuff for a half hour. These basic tools. Alright, so let's take a look at a couple more of these features here. Before we were leaving, we were going to talk about fixed. So why don't we do fixed on a rectangular select tool. Okay. How come I'm not able to change this? There we go. Don't know why it was like that. Alright, so you have these two numbers here. The first one is the width, and the second one is for the height. So if you change this to, like, say, 3, so if you have a 3-to-1 ratio on the rectangle tool here, you can click and drag out, and you won't get a square. You'll always stay at a 3-to-1 ratio on that there. Okay? Same with the ellipse tool. Switch that. Go to, like, say a 4-to-1. Fix it. You'll get something like this. Okay? Now you do that. Let's take a look at one other feature down here, the highlight tool. Okay? When you select this, it's quite simple. It does exactly as it says. Highlights. Okay? Although I guess I've never done this in the ellipse tool, or maybe I have, but I didn't notice. It doesn't seem to follow the ellipse as much as the square for the ellipse. Let's unselect this. I don't know what to say on that issue. I don't know why. It seems like it's in a box form and not doesn't follow the ellipse itself. Okay, but I guess I don't ever use that feature. If you're interested in it, obviously you can look into it. Let's change this back to 1. Okay, let's take this off of fixed. So before we were leaving, we were going to talk about these different modes in this fourth mode right here. Okay, so let's take a look at these again. So we'll do an alpha 2 selection on this top layer here. And we have our marching ants and dancing lines. So, like I was saying, if you use this here in the first mode, oh, we're on highlight still. It takes away those marching ants and dancing lines. Okay? So now we're back with our marching ants and dancing lines, and we'll take a look. Take this out fixed. Now we'll take a look at when we're in the second mode. Okay? So this is the one where we were adding on to things. As you can see, it now has added on to this. Okay? So let's take a look again here. So when you're in this mode here, let's do a gradient. And we're on gradient here, we're on spiral. Let's take that off spiral. That was for my background. We'll just go to linear or bilinear, maybe. Okay. And we're in a rectangle, and we're on the second mode here. Now let's see what happens when we do a gradient. As you can see, it still selects and does everything to these. We'll use a different color so you can see what's happening. it still is selecting all these, but it's now selecting that rectangle area we did also. Okay. So let's take and we'll undo that, and we will look at what happens in this third layer time. We can do a subtract. Now we've done a subtract, and we'll do a gradient on this. Okay. So as you can see, this is still selected. The selection is still selected, but we subtracted that one area there. So it works the same whenever with whatever you're doing. Okay. Now let's take a look at this fourth mode. Okay, what's the fourth mode do? We haven't looked at that yet. The fourth mode is an intersect. It intersects everything that was selected before, but only highlights that area, those features. Okay, so let's go to our gradient and check that out now. So as you can see, we had intersected what we had selected. Okay, so let's take a look here. We will start a new area. Okay, so we're going to start a new area here. And get the ellipse in there. And subtract a little of this. Okay. But when we're on this mode here, that fourth mode, whatever we select, that's the only area that will be selected now, not the rest. Okay. Okay, I think now that is about it for these tools. Oh, no, we can talk about the path part really quick. Sorry, this is getting to be long, but if you guys are really interested in this stuff, I'll tell it to you. So let's take a look here. We can do, we have now a new selection here. What we can do is we can go to our paths dialog and see this little thing here highlighted. It lets us know we can make a path now. Okay, let's go here, select none. Nothing's selected, right? We no longer have this feature. Okay, but if we go to our ellipse tool, this is now highlighted again over here. We can actually click on that. We can actually click on that and it will create a path. Okay, so we'll go with select none. That's gone. But if we look, turn that eye on, we now have a path. And we can do whatever we want with that path, just like any other path. We can stroke that path if we wanted. We just stroked it with our foreground color. we can move that path. We can rotate the path. Whoops. Rotate the path. Just have to make sure you're on this box right here, okay? See this here? That's the path one. Okay. So let's take and click on that, and we can just rotate this. Put it where we want. Click on it again. Bring that over. And we can just spin that around wherever we want like that now. Okay. We can move it to a different location. Again, when you're in the move tool though, just make sure you have that path highlighted and that you're on this path and have that one selected. Now we can move this around if we want it in a different area. We can do some text. And we can put it on that path. Make sure that path is highlighted. It is. Go to path to text along path. And now we put it on that path. Learning to do that can be tricky though. You can flip that path. And when you're in the flip tool, make sure you are on a path. And you can flip it horizontally or vertically. Okay? So let's do like let's do a vertical. Let's do a horizontal. We'll do a horizontal. So you just take, you select your flip tool, you select your path, and you just click. Okay. Oops, we were on the wrong one. But now you saw that. Okay. But if you're on this one and you flip it, and then you go back to, and make sure that's highlighted. We have this one highlighted, this ellipse one. And we go back to our text layer. And we go to text. And we click back on our text. And we get this text along path. Make sure our path is in the right path. And we can go to text along path. And now it changes over to the other side. Okay. Okay. I think we are about done here. That is most of the basics I can think of for the ellipse and rectangle tool. We cover pretty much everything. Feathered edges. All right, position. I have not worked with these, but I guess you can put in a fixed height, so it will never change that height for pixels. So we'll just take a look at that really quick. Yep. No matter where you drag your cursor, it will only stay at 100 pixels high. You can change that to inches, I'm sure, or something like that. Yep, inches. So you can go with, say, 3 inches. And, yep. Okay. You can do everything you want with the ellipse. We are on add, so we're adding to this. Okay, so there you go. Hope it was helpful.